Days of Our Lives is shaping into one of the darkest, most emotionally charged arcs the show has seen in years. The fire that sweeps through Salem is more than just a plot twist. It's a life-and-death turning point that centers on Holly Jonas, a young woman whose very existence represents hope, resilience, and the next generation. The fire itself starts like a nightmare no one saw coming. Flames rage out of control, walls collapse, and smoke chokes the air. Salem's first responders rush to the scene. Sirens wailing, shouts filling the night, neighbors gathered in shock. And in the middle of it all, inside the inferno, is Holly. By the time firefighters and desperate family members manage to reach her, she is already unconscious, her body limp, her face pale beneath the soot. She is carried out of the burning building and rushed to Salem University Hospital, but the question haunts everyone who watches. Is she even alive? Nicole's scream as she sees her daughter motionless in the arms of rescuers cuts through the chaos like a blade. This is Nicole's worst nightmare come true. Holly isn't just her daughter. She is her miracle, the child she thought she would never get to raise, the bond that ties her to Eric forever. To see Holly lying unconscious, possibly slipping away, destroys Nicole in a way that words can barely capture. Eric is torn apart as well. He clings to his faith, praying desperately for Holly's survival, but rage burns alongside the prayers. He knows who caused this: Sophia. The woman who, with her lies and schemes, brought this fire into their lives. EJ, as Holly's stepfather, also spirals into guilt, furious that he wasn't able to protect her. For once, EJ's power, his influence, his control over everything in Salem means absolutely nothing. And then comes the focus of everyone's rage: Sophia. It doesn't take long before Salem learns she is at the center of this nightmare. Whether she set the fire herself or her actions sparked the deadly chain of events, the fact remains, Holly wouldn't be fighting for her life without Sophia. Overnight, Sophia becomes Salem's most hated figure. People who once tolerated her manipulations can no longer excuse them because now there is blood, or at least the possibility of death, on her hands. At the hospital, as doctors fight to save Holly, the town begins to whisper. Some say Sophia deserves to be locked up forever. Others go further. If Holly dies, Sophia should face the death penalty. Salem is no stranger to trials, but this one would be different. This wouldn't be about white-collar crime, petty manipulation, or schemes to ruin reputations. This would be about a young girl's life being stolen in fire and smoke. The idea of Sophia being sentenced to death splits the town. Some, like EJ and Brady, want nothing less than the harshest justice possible. Nicole, drowning in grief, may even scream for Sophia's execution in the heat of her sorrow. Eric, torn between his faith and his fury, struggles with the question of whether forgiveness is even possible when his daughter lies unconscious in a hospital bed because of Sophia. Others, however, might hesitate. Salem has seen redemption before, even for those who've done terrible things. Marlena, John, or even Rafe might argue that death isn't justice, it's vengeance. But in this case, vengeance is exactly what many in town crave. Meanwhile, Sophia herself spirals under the weight of it all. She might lash out, insisting she never meant for Holly to get hurt, that the fire wasn't supposed to go this far. Or she might crumble, finally showing cracks of guilt. But no amount of protest will matter. The sight of Nicole sobbing at Holly's hospital bed, Eric's hollow expression, EJ's fury, these are the images Salem will remember when they look at Sophia. If Holly survives, Sophia's fate will still hang in the balance, because the town won't forget that Sophia left her to die in flames. If Holly dies, then Sophia's story shifts instantly from villain to pariah to a woman facing execution. The court case that follows could become one of Salem's most explosive trials in years, putting everyone, Nicole, Eric, EJ, the DA, and even the people who dare defend Sophia, into direct conflict. And all of this happens against the backdrop of grief. Nicole, who has already lost so much, teeters on the edge of collapse. Eric tries to hold her up while falling apart himself. EJ begins to lose his grip on control. Chloe, Brady, Johnny, Chanel, Tate, all of them feel the ripple of this fire because Holly isn't just Nicole's daughter. She's family to many, a friend to others, and a reminder of innocence in a town filled with betrayal. Her unconscious body lying in a hospital bed becomes the center of everything. So October 2025 will not just be about whether Holly wakes up. It will be about whether Sophia's name becomes forever tied to the death of a child, and whether Salem is prepared to punish her in the harshest way possible. The fire burned down more than a building. It ignited fury, grief, and a demand for justice that could end with Sophia facing a death sentence.